You're listening to Turi Writers' She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, all kinds of things are stuck, or we're stuck with them, or they're stuck in our heads, and you may be more vulnerable to cults than you thought. Well, good. I get you on your day off. That is a good thing. And I'm just not going to mention the cheesecake that I have to bake because I know it makes you nauseous. So I will not be mentioning the cheesecake.
Well, I can tell you what I did yesterday.
I would be delighted to hear what you did yesterday all day.
I won't be, but... Okay, so for our first-time listener, we have a bulldog that we adopted, an English bulldog, purebred. We adopted from a situation, I think 2.5 years ago now. And she's gotten kind of wackadoodle.
Yes.
Put it that way.
Yes.
We need to rehome her, like, desperately.
Let me interrupt you for a second. To be clear for our first-time listener, she's gotten overprotective, is attacking your husband, and you are afraid for the new baby who is frequently in your home.
Plus the senior who's laying next to me, who's a 15-year-old Newfoundland mix, and he's like the most submissive dog. She hates his guts. Now our house is cut in half, where she has front of house, he has back of house. And I found a vet who specializes in English bulldogs. And I handed her Belly's medical records. And lo and behold, this is the vet that did all her surgeries back, 4.5 years ago when she was dumped by a backyard breeder in very bad physical shape. So I had her checked to make sure that she's not in any kind of pain.
Right.
That would cause this
behavior.
Weirdo behavior. She's fine. She gave me a bunch of phone numbers to call for English Bulldog rescues. The first one I called is in Phoenix. It went out of business during COVID. I called like 6 different bulldog rehoming agencies. And more than half of them were pit bulls only.
Ugh.
Yeah, so she's back home.
Yeah.
Because there's no place in Arizona to take her now. And I'm not going to put her on Facebook.
Yeah.
She's going to go to a legit home where they will love her because she loves me. This dog has got so connected to me. She thinks everybody except Eve is threatening to me. Plus, she wants to be the boss of everything. So hence poor Minion, who's laying right here. He wasn't the smartest to begin with. Now he lays in his bed all day and barks at the air. My cat, who was her best friend, Pancakes, she all of a sudden decided she hates pancakes now. So I have to feed pancakes in my bed. In my bed.
I don't think I would feed a cat in my bed. That sounds revolting.
Well, it's just hard food. It's like a little
you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, what am I lying on? It's a little piece of cat food.
No. The bed is made. It's not inside the bed.
Oh, you said in your bed. I'm imagining this
on
cat
my bed.
With it.
On my bed, not in my bed.
Okay.
Semantics.
You know, I have been criticized before for being a literal person. This is what comes of being a literal person.
But yes, that was all day yesterday from 8 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. I'm so frustrated trying to place this poor purebred, really cute, very affectionate, but a little off English bulldog. But
all right, all of a sudden this podcast is starting to feel like a for adoption ad. I don't know what
it is. It is. If you live by me. But yes, I just want to add.
Or even if you don't, even if you live like across the country, Marcy will get in her car and bring this dog to you for the ride home.
I will a meet and greet.
Yep. What you've described is sort of the sales pitch, of course. It's like once it's coming from inside the house, then you have to take it. It's a problem. That's why the last time we went out to foster, we're like, we'll go meet the dog at the shelter. And if our dog approves of this dog. But I've got 2 things stuck in my head and they're not going away. And everyone has had this problem where stuff gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Only here's the thing, with the advent of social media, it's not just songs now that get stuck in your
Uh-oh.
head. It's people's TikTok videos. There's an actress, a French-American actress. That's what her IMDb file, her professional file says she is. A French-American actress in LA who made this little video that I guess went viral of a woman trying to take a little dog into a store, and the worker of the store standing by the shopping cart saying, "I'm sorry, ma'am, you cannot take your dog into the store." And she does this little rap. She's wearing the woman with the little white dog is holding the dog, wearing elaborate cat's eye sunglasses with a blonde wig, and she does this little rap. And now every time I look at this little foster German Shepherd, I'm stuck with this TikTok video playing in my head. This dog is a tiny dog, so tiny you can barely see. And if you cannot see this dog, is he really in your store? Stuck with it. Freaking stuck with it. It's been going on for 3 days. I've been stuck with this thing.
That's okay. I've been singing to the baby, and then I realized where it came from. But I've been singing, soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Soft kitty, warm kitty, purr, purr, purr.
Where'd that come from?
The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, God. This is terrible. I don't want to.
I know. This poor baby, I'm afraid he's going to grow up like Sheldon because...
I don't want any more attribution. It's bad enough to have the thing stuck in your head, but when you have to acknowledge where it came from, that's just one too many humiliations. I was stuck with a Billy Bragg song in my head for a week, and now it's this horrible TikTok video. And I used to be able to erase anything in my head by singing Row, Row Your Boat a few times. But after many years of use, that formula seems to have come to the end of its useful life.
That's how I still brush my teeth.
I know people who wash their hands to happy birthday to you. I don't, whatever it takes, as long as you don't come down with a disease.
Yeah, no, since I've been a kid, I've always row your boat 3 times and you're done.
We can't be the only ones. But here's what I want to know. How do you sing Row, Row Your Boat with a mouthful of toothpaste and a toothbrush?
You sing it. You sing it in your head.
Oh, in your head. Okay.
Which is where I speak most of the time. I've learned to keep my mouth shut and to just say things in my head.
That is a good defense mechanism, especially where you live. On the other
it's taken
hand,
a long time.
On the other hand, this dog is a tiny dog. It doesn't really work in your head. You have to kind of move your whole body. It's very embarrassing.
The whole TikTok thing.
Yeah.
When it first came out, I got really addicted to it. I would sit and watch it for hours.
Really?
Yeah, and then I put myself into TikTok rehab. And now I will only watch a TikTok if one of my children sends me something and says, you have to watch this. And it's usually little naked dogs dancing or goats doing something stupid. Or Eve, who makes a lot of TikToks with her animals in her backyard. And that's it. I will spend 5 minutes on TikToks a day. Otherwise, I'll just sit there going through every weird conspiracy theory, song, dance group. I really like the dance groups. But yes, it's very easy to just get addicted to TikTok.
I'm not registered as TikTok. I end up watching these things. I don't even know how they show up on my phone. But what's very strange is that we all apparently think we are smarter and less manipulatable than we actually are. And I never felt like this in my life before. But because I can be manipulated by these videos, I'm now convinced that if anyone comes up and invites me to a guru's feast or to take a personality test, I may be more vulnerable than you may be more vulnerable than you thought the next time someone representing a cult comes up to you. Because if you can spend an entire day or 2 or 3 with a TikTok song stuck in your head, there's no reason why you shouldn't shave your head, put on a saffron robe, and sell George Harrison's autobiography outside the airport.
If you feel that coming on, you can always call me, and I will say no.
Here's the thing: you never feel it coming on. One minute you're checking your messages, and the next minute you're stuck with some French-American actress in a blonde wig doing a rap about bringing a dog into a grocery store.
Well, let me tell you, I learned my lesson with Steve from India or whoever those guys were that talked to me into the new and improved McAfee or whatever security system for my computer, and proceeded to hack into everything. So I am always saying no, never say yes, always say no.
Yeah, well,
I do buy a lot of crap off TV.
See there. Now, if that TV ad were selling you permanent salvation and happiness, you'd be wearing the freaking saffron robe with your head shaved and selling a book at the airport too. This is where we are vulnerable.
I got an invitation today to go buy stuff off a goth website. I think I went through my goth phase when I was maybe 18, 19. Everything's black. Everything has demons and moths. And it's all like, I don't know why they thought I would want that.
I don't know why they think moths are goth. Is it just because it rhymes with goth? What's gothy?
I think so.
Moths are very pretty.
Well, not these ones. These are angry.
Angry moths?
Angry goth moths to hang from your Doc Martens, which I do still wear. But
that's it. Just one little Camel's Doc Marten in the tent. Now you're on their list.
Yep. I'm on the goth list.
And you can't get off the list. Here's the other thing. Because I'm on the air still fairly regularly, I get emails from publicists who want me to talk about things I would never talk about. And so in an effort to cut down on the 5,000 emails a day from these publicists, I simply unsubscribe from their list, but they're not really the real name, so they just pick another name and send me the same crapola from a different name. Once you're on the list, you are now going to get ads for moth t-shirts and demons for the rest of your natural life. There is no escape. Likewise, I'm going to have that freaking tiny dog video in my head for the foreseeable future.
You get tiny dogs, I get scary moths.
Well, that's a yin and yang thing. We're good with that.
Yep.
Thanks for listening to the Turi Writers She Said What podcast. Since you've made it to the end, you might want to know that my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air, is not only available in print, but now also in complete audiobook form, narrated by me and available on Audible.